is difficult to talk to somebody about becoming an organ donor when that time comes. I would think that it's much easier. I'm going to pick up the little orange, a little pink. It's pink ball. It's easier to talk to them now than it would be at that time. So is that what you do? You go out and talk to people and say, put that pink dot on your driver's license now, so when the time comes,
that is correct.
It's much easier to make that decision?
I work for the California Transplant Donor Network. We are known as an organ procurement organization. We are one of 4 in the state of California, and I'm on the branch of the business that's dedicated to education, community outreach, and basically creating a culture of donation. It's hard for people to face up to the fact of donation because you have to look at your own mortality. You have to acknowledge that you might not be here forever, and it's a decision that we really do believe it's best made by the individual, because by law, families will be approached in the hospital should a loved one or themselves suffer an irreversible injury, a catastrophic injury, usually to the brain, whether it's an aneurysm, a fall from a ladder, gunshot wound to the head, a stroke, what have you. They will be asked if they're not going to survive that, if they're on a ventilator in a clinical setting in a hospital, they will be asked by law if they wish to proceed to donation. It's a very, very tough decision for a loved one to make on their behalf of another loved one. So it's always best when the person has the opportunity to make this decision for themselves, which is where education comes in. I'll back up a little bit myself. I've been a card-carrying donor since the mid-'80s. I always thought it would be just the most noble thing to do. Once I'm done with my organs, sure, if they're good and somebody can benefit from them and it'll extend their life, I always thought it would be fabulous. So it was a no-brainer for me.
Well, I have a question. What's the difference between putting the pink dot on your driver's license and being an organ donor, or signing papers while obviously you're still living and saying, I want to donate my body to science? Mm-hmm. What do you do that too?
There's so many different ways you can do it. One way you could do this is at the DMV. When you renew or you get your driver's license or an ID card for the first time, you check question 7, which is, do you wish to become an organ donor? And now by law, you have to answer that question, and you can say yes or not at this time. That's where 98% of the nearly 9,400,000 people in California who are on the state registry have said yes. You can also declare your wish to be a donor on ctdn.org, which is our website. You can go to ctdn.org and see a lot of information about the process, some amazing stories from donor families as well as recipients. And you can also do this in your living will. You can say if anything should happen to me, I hereby declare my wishes to be a donor. And of course, by letting your family members know. And that is one of the things that we bring forward all the time when we tell people if they wish to become an organ donor, please talk about this with your family so it doesn't come as a surprise. So there are many ways to do that, and there's still a long ways to go, even though we have the largest registry in the United States. That's only about 40% of the total population of the state of California.
It's amazing how you can take a donor and get those organs to the person who needs them in an expedited manner. It must be an incredible network, really.
It takes a village, truly. At CTDN, we have over 200 people that are working full-time in a variety of different ways. I'm at one end of the rainbow. I'm educating. I'm out in the community, opening minds and hearts. We have the clinical staff, which is our largest component, from transplant coordinators who are dispatched to the scene, who are then on the case, making sure that there's suitability, to the placement coordinators who are starting to call down doctors at 3 in the morning saying, we found a kidney that matches your patient, are you interested? We have family aftercare services, a division of people that are dedicated to helping families through the process and after the process to give them the support that they need to bridge the gap between loss and life after donation.
Well, that brings up an interesting question. Since you're at the beginning of the rainbow, you may not know the answer to this, but I'm sure you do. And that is, how do the families recover from their loved ones being a donor? Do they feel a loss, or do they actually kind of settle into, this is really a good thing that has happened? I mean, when somebody becomes a donor, do they feel like their loved one isn't intact, or are they happy about being able to share in a future life?
There's some remarkable stories that I've come across. I've been privileged to meet people who have met their donor family for the first time. I was an interpreter for a man who received a donated kidney and heart from a Latino gentleman. And when he first met the family, mother spoke Spanish, he didn't. I'm from Mexico. I was there to facilitate the first conversation between them. Other stories of donor mothers who've heard their son's heart beating inside the chest of another person who's been saved. You can never really replace the person that's been lost. There's always going to be a hole in their heart. But knowing that some good came out of a tragedy, that helps them bridge the gap. Donor families are some of the most remarkable people I've met. They honor the memories of their loved ones through selfless dedication to the cause, through volunteering, through education, and through spreading the word about donation to get more people on board, as well as recipients who've been given another chance, who all of a sudden have, rather than just 2 days to live, they've got the whole lifetime of tomorrows to see the smile of their first grandchild or see their daughter get married, what have you. Miracles do happen because of donation, and it's one of the most altruistic, selfless things that we all can do. For only 2 minutes of your time, there's nothing else that has a greater impact than declaring yourself as an organ donor.
What is the organ that is in the greatest need? I know you and I have talked about this before, but the viewers may not know.
The kidney is the organ that is in the greatest need, mostly because of diabetes and hypertension. Currently in the state of California, I can throw out some figures, we have over 22,000 people on the waiting list. In Stanislaus County alone, the last time I checked, we had 431 people on the waiting list. And a good portion of those are waiting for kidneys. Because of lifestyle choices, the diets they've chosen to take in, and then sometimes for no reason other than it was just malfunctioning kidney. Dialysis can extend their lives, as it often does, and people can take dialysis for any number of years. If kidney failure progresses, the only end result will be a transplant, which has become the go-to therapy for most end-stage organ disease. Kidneys followed by livers. The pancreas could be transplanted as well.
I didn't know that a liver could be transplanted. Because isn't the liver like the only organ that can regenerate itself or something?
Absolutely.
Then why does that need to be transplanted? Is it because the whole thing's gone?
The whole thing is gone. My sister-in-law, 14 years ago, received a donated liver. She received the large lobe. The smaller lobe went to an infant. At the time, she was basically at death's door. She was given 2 days to live. The family was in shock. We were pretty much planning a funeral. Somebody said yes. A donor organ was found. She was transplanted, and she was able to be a mother, watch her children grow up, go to university. Middle son's in college. Older daughter is now about to graduate from high school. It's a fabulous thing, and that really brought it home to me. The heart can be transplanted, as can the lungs.
And eyes.
And the eyes, tissue, and everything. But getting back to the liver, I was actually on a radio show just recently last week, and one of the guests along with me was a recipient who herself had a bout with very, very rare but very fatal liver cancer. She was pretty much ready to be, chemo hadn't worked, the only therapy was transplantation. Waiting for an organ wasn't going to be feasible because it needed to happen right away. Her family was tested, and a friend of the family stepped up and said, I'll be tested. She was able to donate a portion of her liver in a live donation.
Wow.
So her small lobe was grafted and transplanted into this woman who now enjoys, her diseased liver was taken out and received her friend's portion, and the liver grew back to be its full size within about 6 to 8 months. And she is cancer-free and absolutely fabulous. It's remarkable. And her friend's liver grew back to the full size it was before as well.
So the California Transplant Donor Network is for live donors as well?
No, we don't facilitate live donation. We are the bridge, we are the link between deceased organ donors and those awaiting transplantation. Live donation will usually take place with people who are in touch with transplant surgeons. So they will go to a transplant center, Stanford, UCSF, CPMC. Those are the main ones that we work with this area, and Lucille Packard's pediatric.
They're wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my daughter spent quite a bit of time over there at the Lucille Packard Hospital,
Really?
and they were fabulous people. The staff, the hospital, the doctor, Dr. Rinsky, excellent surgeon.
Wonderful.
Excellent. So where can we get in touch with you besides the website, which I'll hold up here?
ctdn.org. You can also go to donatelifecalifornia.org. I know it's a mouthful, but donatelifecalifornia.org. That's the state registry. If you want to specify your donation, if there's somebody in your family who has end-stage kidney disease or taking dialysis, and you say, well, if something should happen to me, I want Uncle Charlie to have my liver's first dibs, that's called a directed donation.
Oh,
you can specify that. You can limit your donation if you don't want the gift of your skin to be used for cosmetic surgery. You can say no. But usually, most people will say, I'm done with it. I don't have any use for my organs or my tissues. So one person has the power to save up to 8 lives. And with tissues like corneas, skin, bone, ligaments, they can improve the quality of life for 50 or more people. So we have a remarkable amount of power to make miracles happen.
And it's just as easy as a pink dot on your driver's license.
As easy as a pink dot or just saying yes.
I have a pink dot.
Good for you. You're one of the 9.4 million people in the state of California.
I'm 1 in 9 million. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much for joining me this
Athens.
evening.
I appreciate
And
it.
I hope to have you back on the radio show soon, too.
I look forward to it.
Thanks.
All the best.